Welcome everybody to yet another coffee time with Hako, the show where I have my morning coffee and then I yap off into the void. Well, Matt, today we're having a latte in a kind of plain, kind of ish plain black mug. I quite like it though. Real heavy. So, what did I want to talk about today? Today I wanted to talk about the fact that I prefer attacker agents to anomaly agents. So I've given this some thought on like how to phrase it and why I feel this way. And the best explanation I can give is that when I play an attacker agent like Ellen, for example, I feel like I'm actually fighting the enemy rather than, like I feel like I'm attacking the enemy rather than attacking at the enemy. Does that make sense to anybody else? I'm not sure how to phrase it in any other way. So playing an attacker agent in Zenless kind of feels like, you know, your standard medieval like sword and shield, you're up close and personal and you have to like react to the enemy. Meanwhile, if I'm piloting Yanagi or especially Miyabi, it doesn't feel as like up close and personal. It more feels like I'm in a fighter jet, like carpet bombing, you know, the village of, you know, said enemy I'm trying to fight. And I think that is like when it comes down to it, that is really like why I prefer attackers. And also usually an attacker have iframes during the EX special and that is about it. Meanwhile, we take Miyabi for example, she has invincibility frames during her like full charge of the Shimatsuki stance and during both of her dashes of her like EX special. And once she's kind of done with that, she switches out anyway. And what does she switch out to? She switches out to another anomaly agent in most cases. To say that she switches to Yanagi. Yanagi like immediately comes in and starts EX attacking, and Yanagi has iframes during her EX special as well, especially if you hold it. And then, you know, it's back to Miyabi, back to iframes. It's like, I just feel like you're not really engaging in the enemy in the same way like you are with an attacker agent. Now, mind you, I'm not saying that, I think attackers are stronger, because they absolutely are not. I have no idea how how the dev team at Hoyo is planning to make attackers, you know, be a little bit competitive when it comes to damage. Because as of right now, the anomaly agents are so far ahead in terms of like damage and like general clear times. I almost feel like doing anomaly agents is kind of, you know, playing the game on easy. You don't really have to interact with the game that much. Meanwhile, if you want, you know, the hard mode, you go attacker-led teams. And, you know, most attackers require you to like utilize a stunner to like really enable the attacker agent. Meanwhile, usually like the go-to to like enable an anomaly agent is just like slap them in with another anomaly agent and you'll be golden. But there are some exceptions to this rule. For example, I really enjoy playing Jane though, and I think what that comes down to is that Jane doesn't really feel like an anomaly agent in the same way that I'd say that Bernice, Yanagi and Miyabi does. Like Jane and Nekomata, for example, they feel kinda similar. And Nekomata, you know, feels like a proper attacker, and I feel like Jane feels much more like an attacker than an anomaly agent. That's why I really love playing with Jane. And Jane doesn't have like too many iframes, and a lot of her kit actually revolves around like doing your perfect dodges, because she has a very powerful like dodge counter. So I still feel like you engage with the enemy, you attack the enemy, you don't attack at the enemy. And I think when it comes down to it, I think this is why I still prefer to use my Ellen compared to Miyabi. And I might be super alone in this viewpoint, so I'd be super interested to like hear from any of you. Like, does this resonate with anybody else, or am I alone in this like viewpoint? And me personally, I'm quite, you know, excited that Evelyn is an attacker and not an anomaly agent, because one, I kind of want to see if they, you know, have thought up something to kind of bring attackers, you know, up, able to compete. But also, I just feel like the attacker role is in general more fun, although not stronger. Let me know what you think about this matter down in the comments. And yeah, thank you so much for watching Coffee Time with Hako. I think this was 41. I put out Zenless videos every goddamn day, and quite often Zenless coffee. So if you're into that, stick around the channel. Otherwise, hope you have a fantastic rest of your day. Hako out.